1, 2. Hey. Check.
Okay, 3, that looks good. Coming to you. Ready, 3, and take 2. On 2. 2, you're live.
Jackass!
All right, and we're live once again under foreboding skies here in Roanoke. We might be preempted by a tornado at some point in the show tonight, but it's Sunday night. We're shooting live, bringing you another episode of the Show Tech Show. Tonight, Harven is joining us live and in person. Oh my gosh, it's for real.
I know. I'm actually a person, not just somebody whom they make up and keep talking about.
The drapist.
The drapist, live and in person. Jordan, as always, joining us as the technical director for tonight's telecast.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Good
Back
day,
to y'all.
sir. Good day to you and to you tonight. The topic I have elected for us to speak about and forthwith is the show must go on. Jordan's got drops. Great. I cracked myself up.
It's going to be fun day.
So yeah, the thought, in addition to talking to Harven, just kind of jamming on whatever random topic comes to his mind, I thought we'd talk about overcoming adversity in the show tech environment, as we're often wont to do. And as usual, we'll have our rundown of this week's job board, taking a look at people who are hiring in the industry in our neck of the woods and around the world. See if there's some interesting employment opportunities for you and yours. And then, as always, we'll hit our news segment, where we take a look at the latest technology and headlines in a little segment we like to call Next.
Next.
All right, that sound means it's time to begin. So I'm going to kick this one off. Let's see, what to choose?
So much to choose from.
There is so much to choose from. It's almost like we didn't write this 5 minutes before we went on the air. I thought this was an interesting one. NPR and NAB, this is kind of following our NAB coverage that wrapped up last week. We're probably going to have a few more weeks of spin-out technology news from that. But the National Public Radio, our national treasure, and NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters, they're petitioning the FCC to enforce or force, I guess, cellular manufacturers and providers to enable the standard FM receiver chips in your cell phones. So depending on your carrier and your device manufacturer, every phone pretty much has the ability to receive FM radio built right into the hardware from China. But a lot of people disable this feature as a way to force you to use over-the-top services to get podcasts and streaming radio and that sort of thing. So so they're actually, part of this is they're pushing an app called Next Radio that you can download and get free FM radio on your phone. But I thought this was kind of germane to our talking points tonight, just because I think this would come in handy in a show environment where bandwidth is usually spoken for. And also in situations like we've been in all week here in North Texas, where we've got crazy weather coming through and storms and that sort of thing. Buzz. Speaking of,
You might want to pull your antenna out.
electronic interference, I'm about to get hit by lightning. So look forward to that on an upcoming show. But yeah.
Are your batteries low?
No, they're brand new. They're freshies.
Are they?
Here, touch this to the receiver if you could, just for the next hour or so. Thank you. What do you think about FM? Yeah. It's gross.
Well,
What do you think about? Does anybody listen?
I knew it.
Your phone is kind of it's an always-on device, right?
Yes.
So you've always got it. We were sheltering in place here when we thought a tornado or a large storm was coming through, and I had my cell phone on me. I was like, gee, it sure would be nice if I could tune into the local radio and listen. But at the time, I didn't have the app loaded. Apparently, Sprint is one of the carriers that doesn't lock out your FM receiver.
Yes, I'm able to get onto Next Radio whenever you want.
Yeah, so there you go. But apparently that's not a standard thing out there.
Is this free?
Yeah,
It is.
it's the radio.
It is if you're on Sprint. I don't know
Yeah.
about anyone else.
I got AT&T.
What about T-Mobile?
That's what the article that I read from NAB said that only Sprint currently doesn't disable it by default. So if you need to, jailbreak your phone or whatnot to enable it, it's not non-standard hardware. Just thought that was interesting.
I do with iHeartRadio and Pandora and stuff like that with my cell phone and stuff like that. But
Yep.
a lot of times, I like to listen to local radio that's not on iHeartRadio, and it's something I want to listen to. Because currently, something happened with my car years ago, where my FM antenna doesn't work that much, and definitely my AM antenna does not work at all. It'll just scan and scan. I could be in the middle of Dallas Fort Worth and pick up hardly any signals. Of course, like the covering on my antenna is now coming off and showing all the copper wire coil and stuff like that. But the cell phone technology, we're incorporating it more, and I think it'd be a great idea to have and use.
Well, it tends to be, I think, kind of your go-to device for everything nowadays, and to be disconnected from that pretty major segment of the spectrum seems kind of weird. Scott, we're over here tonight. You all right there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm thinking that your dropout is the gate, actually, because your signal sucks.
Yeah, I've got no RF, but don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, and that's kind of what irked me, though, Jordan. You were talking about all the iHeartRadio and the other apps that you use to get your entertainment, but that all comes down your provider's data plan that you pay for those bits. So they have a vested interest in having you use those versus the FM.
But what if you have unlimited data? You're basically
that's ironically Sprint does have unlimited data,
Yeah.
and that's why they don't care what you use. So they leave the FM radio on. Everybody else charges you by the bit, and they leave it off.
Do you think they'll start throttling down at some point? That they'll I know that certain.
Well, the FM antenna doesn't cost bits. It's like Wi-Fi.
Sprint's in financial trouble right now. They're not going to throttle down. They're trying to get every customer they can. So I don't see that happening. And to tell you the truth, $50 a phone is all it costs me.
Yeah.
It's
So
not that bad.
Anyway, I guess I don't want to get on this too much. It's not very show techy, but it did kind of irk me just because it's another one of those net neutrality things where providers are kind of forcing you to use their service versus anybody else, and just another.
They got a drop.
Well,
Scott
homosexual British Siri, what I said there was that your drop? Was that your drop? I'm not sure what you said there. I think what you said was next.
thank you.
Yeah. Next. Well, your mom. So let's see. What's another good
light
topic? Scott, you can jump in talking about the Clay Packy Mythos Light. If you wanted to jam on some lighting stuff for us.
PSSL conference was just held not too long ago, and Clay Packy rolled out their new Super Sharpie, which has been out for about a year, and Mythos, along with their Spherescope.
Beer scope.
Yeah.
I like those names.
Scenic. Oh gosh, I just turned my phone off.
I'm not sure what you said. Roger.
Yeah, there were 4 rollouts. One was a high-speed LED strobe, which is called the Stormy.
Okay.
The Super Sharpie came out, which now has a 400-watt Osram lamp in it, so it can actually throw distances of entire arenas. That's going to be kind of cool. But what I loved about Mythos is you've got this big lens apparatus type of fixture that's got a zoom from about, I think it was 60 degrees all the way down to 2.4 degrees.
Golly,
Excellent.
that's like a pencil.
Yeah.
That's like a Sharpie kind of
That,
That's
style.
pretty awesome.
what they said is that beam over 300 yards stays that size.
It's almost like a laser.
Yeah. So I was like, this is really kind of one of the neater things that Clay Packy's come out with, because it's able to do the wide stuff, but it's also able to do the beam stuff. So now it's kind of given the designer a little bit of versatility in being able to get one lamp or one instrument that does it all.
Yeah, I was looking at the price tag on these things. I think the retail's like $12,000 or something like
Yeah,
that. But it's for what you get. It's a very diverse fixture, and even like you're talking about those arena length distances. I mean, there's really no application you couldn't.
We were talking about the BMFL of 2 or 3 weeks ago, and its price point is $18,000. The Mac 3s are right up between 16 to 18,000.
By the way, those things have a lot of heat, especially because I've been sitting by one running a jib. That's it. Even a band member at the place that I was working at said, "I am hot." I'm like, it's like at my feet it's 100 degrees, and at my nose, it's like 80 degrees.
I mean, you're talking about a 1,400 watt arc lamp.
And
That is an outdoor fixture if I've ever heard it. Why not use it to light your drum kit?
brighter than the sun.
I told him to throw it in his trunk. I mean, we could have put it in the middle of the room
you
here.
probably wanted the quantums
Just the one,
also.
yeah. We should have just done that. Roanoke would have like dimmed
we don't
down.
need that heat. We need the quantums.
We should do live product testing.
So, anyways, Clay Packy
Fire that bad boy up.
once again
We're talking about it. Let's bring it.
has taken the market with the innovative beam fixtures. I don't know what to say. I mean, this is probably the 4th year in a row now that
So, and the magic on this one, clarify for me. It's just the optics, right?
the optics are stink incredible. You've got this aperture that's almost 6 inches around. So,
God, you guys are a bunch of schoolgirls. All right, continue.
You're the one that said it.
I know, but you all titter like little.
I was talking about the opening.
I know.
Hurry up, meow.
Why did you put him in charge of that?
I don't know. That'd be funny.
Yeah, it's versatile. Next.
Next. Next. Hershey boys.
We need to get one of those.
We do need to get one of those. 2 or 3. Just hang up with the drinks. No problem.
I need
right?
one for my bedroom just because.
Jordan, you and I were looking at the beginning of the show at another one of these NAB
Yes.
releases, the Ikegami 8K ENG
8K
camera.
UHD TV camera.
So no
Pretty
one's
awesome.
touching this, so.
It's 4K. Really, that's so last year.
4K's out of date
That's
right
so
now.
2015.
You know,
You're not
we
gonna
don't-
throw down money on a 4K
we don't need
camera.
We
more-
don't even have a TV that can run it yet, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
You need to get yourself an 8K camera. Don't worry about how you're going to edit the footage.
Go get
Just
the
get it.
8K.
Buy it. Buy one. Tell them Lone Star sent you. Showtech Show.
Hello.
Show tech show. So
Samsung.
Jordan's done a
It's
lot of research on
a-
this. Tell us a little bit what you found.
all right, so let me go to it here. It's a nice little ENG, kind of like a production handheld solid 8K camera. Pretty, standard weight, about 20 pounds. Standard 8K, but it's a UHD camera, Super 35 CMOS sensor. You can put a PL lens on, change out your PL lenses because it has a PL lens mount.
Do you happen to catch what this sucker records on? Is it like proprietary semi-trucks that you have to plug into it with hard drive?
I'm thinking that it's a fiber-based.
card.
It looks like it's gonna be a fiber-based camera because most of these 4K cameras are fiber-based. So I think.
Oh, so it's really just an imager? It's not even, you can't do any recording with this?
No, you can probably get a different back on it. By the picture, it looks like it's a 4K. I mean, it's just a fiber. It's only a fiber back. That's that's the only thing that can handle the bandwidth going down the line. It's fiber. Yeah, I think that I don't know. Honestly 8K right now. My opinion is like we're not ready for 8K yet.
Well, I thought this would be a good...
We could barely handle 4K.
Well, like Red's got some 8K stuff, right? I thought this might be something else for
Yeah.
the production. And the reason video editors like 8K or super or ultra high definition things is because it approximates that film experience where you can record and then crop out what you really want.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And most of the people, what they do, they'll shoot in 4K or 8K, but they're actually broadcasting still in 1080i. And what they're using, they're cropping out the unused space. So say for instance, a baseball player hits a ball. The camera's wide, but you really want to get a tight shot of him. Well, you can zoom it in on an instant replay system like EVS or whatever, and be able to do a slow mo of that reaction, and you're getting really good quality with the 8K.
Does anyone else feel like this? Oh wait.
Are you gone? Did we lose you?
Yeah, you did.
I got you.
Does anyone else feel like this is just another way to boost profits?
Yeah, the endless, now you got to get the new resolution. Now you got to get the new production chain. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. It's probably just going to accelerate over time as technology becomes cheaper and cheaper. These companies still have to find a way to...
I mean, I like the
money.
crystal clear picture, but my eyes are so bad, 1080 is fine now.
Honestly, yeah, your end user. I got to say that I think one of our first shows, I wanted to bring the article about this. I never tracked it down, but I read somewhere that there's a new sports production technology, basically, where they just have a hyper-resolution imager hitting like an entire soccer field, and then they just drive what the little 1080p picture they want out of that. So you just have one camera covering the entire match.
Like a wide angle, super wide.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically, and it's like a 32 megapixel image or something like that, and they isolate the picture. I don't know what's causing that noise. It's really
It's the storm.
I blame it on the storm.
yeah, it's true. We do have a lot of lightning in the area, so
So
bear with
if
us.
if we
You
do
might
hear-
get to see some cool electrocutions live on the Lone Star.
You know that. We're
Scary.
It's our time.
Yep.
Yeah, because I mean we've used these for 2 weeks now.
This
and,
is totally new. Yeah.
and this is the only thing that's different is the fact that there's a lot of static electricity out there
They
right
died doing what they loved,
now.
talking about cameras. All right, I'm gonna hit next because we got a lot of stuff to talk
It's
about.
about time.
Seriously? That wasn't me.
Was that you?
What? Coffee?
Oh.
Turn your mic off.
ESPN2.
that
A lot
hurt.
of our normal viewers might not be watching us tonight because ESPN2, for the first time ever, is carrying esports championships this weekend.
Ooh.
If anybody's into this,
Sports.
esports,
What is it?
video games.
God.
Like this is
Seriously?
multiplayer online battle arena games that they have.
Seriously?
They have
Harven, you can't
commentators.
talk about it because we were playing video games earlier.
Okay, but
Before
we're
we
not
came
doing it
over
in
here.
some like major forum, where
Right.
there's
Well, I mean, there's a pair. I've been doing a little research on this. Apparently, there's a big, a lot of it's web-based, like Twitch.tv's got webcast networks that do video game coverage, and they'll take the the pros, and they'll be sponsored by video game accessory manufacturers and such. But this marks the first time that major sports network ESPN2 is covering one of these things in prime time on a Sunday night. I mean, obviously, there's not a lot of competing sports traffic, but that's still kind of impressive for one of these little niche
Hey,
shows.
there's hope. Next will be Magic the Gathering.
And I wanted to mention that because you guys totally did that, right? You,
Yes, we
you
did,
worked a
actually.
Magic gig. How was that?
That was Nerd Fest 2006.
And that's pretty bad
It
when,
wasn't that
remember.
bad.
when the webcast
Yes.
network guys are calling you nerds. That's, I mean, we're literally talking to our
think
moms on the internet right now.
The only
But you're the nerd.
bad thing was that we were doing it in composite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing an Angry Birds Star Wars shirt. Yeah,
So
I
you're
think
so
that's-
future looking. You're so innovative, Scott. Our future sponsors.
So what games do they have on this thing?
League
table
of League of
tennis?
Legends. This one.
Oh, League of Legends.
League of Legends is a big one. This is actually Blizzard's alternative. I forget what they are playing.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Shenanigans was the name of the game. Yes, thank you, Farva.
What?
On me? Because I can't hear those.
Can't her what?
Your drops are quiet.
I thought we had this adjusted.
Well, you had it for pre-show down.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. The
Less than
last week, I think we declared the death of traditional media, and this is the future you can look forward to. Video game TV.
Does that excite
You
you?
know, I think it.
See, I think baseball is
Does.
moving to that.
I
Same
saw that
It's
article
like,
on
ESPN,
ESPN.
like 5.
It is. It's getting pushed down to the Ocho.
Kind of like boxing.
The Ocho.
Hello, Joel. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting kind of into this now, though. I'm like, all right, this interests me. I don't know what it is about
I-
watching video games that is fun to me. But
Okay, and
don't hate
I
it,
can
and
I can
it's massively
testify on
This
this.
is actually something that has been big for a
Testify.
while.
testify,
Oh, I
John.
could testify on this. All right, so this is my testification.
Uh-oh.
I have been addicted to YouTube videos and people playing Grand Theft Auto and Black Ops and all these other things. I've been watching hours and hours of people just playing games. I could probably relate to this. I could probably watch a competition.
Which means we
of
could sell
people-
ads to you on this.
Exactly. I mean, I would be bought. I'd be like, oh, they're demoing out the new Grand Theft Auto 6 or the new Black Ops or whatever Call of Duty game. I can
Yeah.
pretty predict that. I would love to see competition like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I can remember when I was a kid, I used to, I'd go and my friends would be playing a game, and it was, back in the day before multiplayer, so it'd be like, you get to watch 2 or 3 people play before it's your turn. I didn't mind that. I did not hate just watching it. It was engaging to me. So, I mean, there's something about it that people aren't totally turned off by. It sounds like it would be super lame, but it's very watchable. And a lot of
Very
these
much
things have
is.
really high production value, too.
Mhm.
They're essentially multi-camera shoots. They're just taking scan converters from all the different player PCs. They've got graphic overlays. They've got commentators. You've got someone tracking the action, a color commentator, just like you
Mhm.
would in a real sporting event. So I don't know. Yeah, coming soon.
I don't know. There's this guy that used to work for me, and he was a big League of Legends freak. And he would want to get off work so he could go watch these tournaments online.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been around for a bit, So I can't knock it. I mean, if that's the way things are
Are you
going these
periscoping?
days. I mean, And I need to jump on the bandwagon and start producing
I figure
gaming.
I always thought it'd be kind of cool to
More-
do like a
Watch
classic
this.
game tournament, like go do some
Go to
8-bit
frontiertelevision.com.
heads-up games.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah. All right, player one now. He's jumping on the mushrooms and collecting coins. I don't know how that would play. but-
Do-do-do-do-do.
All right, we'll hit next because we're being periscoped to death over here.
Yes.
Next.
Scott is
Next.
And let's see what's up next on the hit board. Speaking of YouTubes, Jordan, your report this week is that YouTube is not running on older iOS devices. Is that true?
Yeah, I'll come.
He is absolutely right.
So basically, Google, which honestly
getting
hates
another angle.
iPhone. We all know that Google hates iPhone. You know,
I think they would love to
Basically,
love iPhone, but iPhone hates Google because iPhone can't
they
monetize
all
Google.
hate each other.
That's true.
iPhone is.
Why
the
can't we all be
leapfrog
friends
of
and
phones.
all just like
Apple
Yeah, but-
is the leapfrog
Okay.
of technology.
get in bed
period.
together and have a group gathering?
Apple
I
will
got
no longer-
watchers.
So yeah, so basically,
Advertise on this.
Google, which owns YouTube, announced sometime that it would discontinue support for YouTube app in an older iOS devices such as iPads and iPhones. It's mostly if you don't update your iOS to the newer version, it's going to basically disable YouTube. And you know how with the iPhone and iPad, if you have an iPad run one, you probably cannot like.
You probably can't watch video anyway.
You could. I mean, yeah, but you can't really.
You can watch GIF
You can always
animations.
go to the website, YouTube.com on your Safari.
Well, that was my question. Does that,
Okay.
that still work?
Here's the thing about this though. They are not just doing it proprietarily to Apple,
No, it's not.
because my old Android phone that I had the Samsung Galaxy S2. It no longer played YouTube.
So they just updated their something about it, and old platforms don't work. And if your platform's too old to get an update, you
Anything
lose.
older than
Buy a new
4.1 is
See, it's that stuff that
And-
worries me more
it's-
than
it's
resolutions
iOS
growing, forcing you to upgrade, because there's really no reason what
And-
used
and
to
for
work shouldn't still work.
and honestly,
You
should I be forced to upgrade my phone just because I want to watch YouTube?
That'd be a pretty
perk.
tough value
But
proposition, but
they're also doing it. They're trying to do it to the Apple TV box.
Hmm.
So, and I have noticed this on a couple of videos. Like when we post our videos, when you first post our video, I can't watch it on any Apple products.
takes a while to
Yeah.
transcode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Leapfrog.
So for get back on the topic of the iOS and
There was
YouTube.
the topic.
You know what really grinds
It-
my gears, Jordan? No, I'm just joking.
What
Go ahead.
this-
Go ahead.
what really grinds your gears? So anything pre iOS 7 will lose the function of their YouTube app, which means like if you're using an older iPhone 3, iPhone 4, because usually the older iPhone devices or iPad devices, they can't really run the new operating system, the iOS and stuff like that. It start becoming buggy, and that's Apple's and Android's way of forcing you to upgrade your phone. And it's like, stop using your iPhone 3, go up to the iPhone 6 Plus.
Yeah.
Harven,
Planned obsolescence.
you're like looking over here. It's like,
Well, I'm just
What do you think about
saying. Why are you
Be
still
honest.
rocking a Samsung Galaxy S1 anyways? You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, a lot of these things are kind of built to die anyway. So, the manufacturer's point of view is we can't
More
keep supporting
monies.
everything because it costs time and money.
yeah,
iOS
I'm here
8's new.
also.
Yeah, you're up.
All about the
Anyway,
money.
before we hit next, Jordan, go back to your camera shot one more time. I just wanted to mention that
You got something
I
hanging in your
believe
nose?
that your boom mic makes you look like Charlie Chaplin.
or
Okay?
Or Hitler.
And-
Hitler.
and
That's what I was about to say.
Well,
Here, I'll
he's got
turn
the
it
hair
back.
of Charlie
There we go.
Chaplin. He's
Right
not
there?
really
Is
got
that better?
the Hitler
Is that
hair.
better?
If you're going, okay, yeah, there you go.
Right there? Hey, okay.
No, now it looks like less like Charlie Chaplin. Of course, it's not better.
I look
Next.
like Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks.
Uh,
Or like Joey Fatone or Chaplin or whatever.
Next. All right. Let's see. So,
Are we done yet?
do you want to keep going? This could go on all night. You know what? Screw it. We're done.
Next
We're up.
out.
All right. Segment number 1.
I'm a
Harven's
smoker.
here.
And, you know,
You like
sooner we wrap
barbecue?
this up, you know,
Okay.
I might have to light up here.
There you go. That's it. Yeah, we're not fire rated.
Wow.
Just joking.
Well,
I love
Harven's
the
in
show.
town.
I watch it all the time.
He is. Big fan of the show. First time interviewee. I don't know what we can call
Actually,
it.
I've been here before when we did this like a year and a half ago or something.
Oh, you were here for season 0.
Yes.
Yes, the
Yes.
fabled
Now
season
I'm
0.
actually here live. I've been to New Braunfels, enjoying life down there.
Do they allow you near high schools again?
They allow me near everything.
Good to go. Good.
Now,
Oh.
you,
I'm glad that you got that taken care of.
they might have a problem with. He's a theater person, you know how they do.
We always used to drive around a big white van every time we were on a gig, and these are not the guys you want driving a big white van trolling your high school campus.
With a bunch of tape.
Yeah, with a bunch of gaff tape. It was nuts.
Yep.
So you're a professional drapist, and I say professional in air quotes, but
I know.
you do it for money.
I do it for a
That
living.
counts.
I've been doing this for a living.
You
It's,
get to see a lot of cool stuff in that gig. How's it
I do. I mean, I've seen all kinds
Pretty
of cool stuff, you know, stuff that y'all be into that I have I don't understand. 3D imaging, I don't know what the hell that is. You know, why
Yeah,
the
but
hell
if
do
we
we need-
talked about banjo cloth,
why the hell do you need like freaking 50 movers? You know what I mean? Why?
Why not? I don't know. That's a Scott question. He's
Yes,
a lighting
exactly.
designer and also an audio professional. I found out
See,
last week.
my thing is you just need uplighting. Uplighting. That's it.
All he needs is the uplighting. Give us
You don't
some
need
good-
anything else. Uplighting.
What's the coolest drape show you've seen that you've had to set? You pretty much just do black drape all the time, or
No.
do you? Yeah, because you guys have. Some
We do a
special-
lot of weddings and stuff like that. Stuff that
So black drape's
the
probably
white
appropriate.
stuff,
white stuff,
silver.
sheer, ivory, all kinds of cool, pretty products.
Gorgeous.
Well, we do a lot of cool stuff. We really do. And the company is I'm not going to mention the company.
Oh, you're not?
They don't need the free advertising.
Oh, I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, that's kind of something we do here. Is we don't really.
The
Well,
company
Scott.
we do not name.
Yes.
That's that one company that we all used to work
In
for.
fact, that's a pro tip. You'll know if someone's paying for their mention on air if we do mention them.
That's right.
Clay Packy.
But no, I mean I've
wish, dude.
done everything from weddings to outdoor events, which are dumb. If you're out there and watching this right now, don't order any drape for outside. That's just ridiculous.
We just need something to hold the wind back.
Yeah, in the
not gonna
in the rain and and another thing is drape is not soundproof. Quit calling me going, hey, we need something that's soundproof out here right now. Well, I got drape. Well, will that not work?
We sell drape and drape
Sorry,
accessories.
Jack.
How can I help you today?
Sorry.
Would you like to buy all of the drape? Do like 18 layers of drape? That probably buffer some sound.
Did you,
What?
What is this? Crew.
Crew?
He is the
Yes.
crew.
He's also
I
a
know.
good rower. No, Harven worked with us back for our you
Oh,
Can't-
we're doing that. I'm sorry.
We would be terrible rowers.
Rolling, rolling, rolling.
We'd be going in circles in the water.
But Harven, you were our camera guy for our You Can't Breathe That at the Saucer special we did in
I did.
Was it
I was.
2010.
You were?
2009. something like that.
That was me. I just basically hit record and I just kind of sat there and drank beer. That's what I did.
We try to keep it pretty legit here on Lone Star.
Yeah.
We don't work the crews too hard because we're men of the people.
And then it just went to Richard. And Richard just went. Beep, 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 beep,
Yep, it's
just
one of
stuff
the,
like
the
that.
early days. You can check that out on YouTube as well. YouTube.com/TV Lone Star.
Richard is
He's milking. He's out there milking.
That's how I run shows. I just milk. And shows come out.
But anyways, I've known these guys for a long
It
time.
really is too bad nobody watches these.
Well, someday we'll be stars, and they'll go back and watch our humble beginnings and be like, "Oh my God, what?"
What was
And that was the second time I got crabs.
See, even
All
that. I
right.
didn't hear that.
You can hear.
Maybe Jordan one day will learn what he's doing over there.
He's a video guy. Audio takes a
I think
special.
that
gear.
was the best drop you've had yet.
Can you turn those up?
I can't turn your individually up.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with you then.
All right. Well,
What are we going on to?
Harvard, we're glad to have you on the show.
I'm glad to be
Oh,
here.
we're
I
talking
really
to
am.
Harven.
I really am. I'm
Yeah,
glad
he
to be
is
here.
the segment. But
I'm actually on vacation now, and they caught me when I was in town and called me up and said, hey,
yeah, we had our people
we'll
call
pay
your
you like
producer.
$20K to come out and do this.
Real quick show, one-time shoot.
Makeup. You need to send us your rider. Tell us what you need, and they just
Got your bowl of M&Ms.
yes,
Screen.
my fried chicken.
Naturally.
You know.
All
Shotgun.
right, man. Well, we're glad to have you on the show and appreciate you making the trip up here to join
No,
us
I'm
live.
glad to be here. Actually, this is
Glad to be anywhere.
glad to see you guys. 'Cause
Yeah, it's good to see you.
I miss
Hell yeah.
you. I
I
really
know,
do.
brother. You've been away
I miss
too
you
long.
guys.
Well, every week on the
Come
Show Tech
on back.
I wish I
Come
could.
on
You want to
back.
give me a job? You want to give me a job?
Come
You wanna give me a
on
job? I'll
back.
fucking come back.
show. It's funny you should say that because this is the part of the show where we look at the job board.
Anybody out there that wants to give me a job? I work
find
for
out.
peanuts, apparently.
I've got what five good ones I'm going to throw your way. So see if any of these speak to you.
Okay, go on.
I hear that. All right. So this week, first up, let me go to Indeed.com. The Dallas Cowboys are hiring an editor videographer, if you can believe it or not.
I can act like I can do that.
Yeah, you know what cameras are and stuff.
I'm actually applying right now.
Come on, man. Drop that music bed back a little bit. You're applying right now.
Sure. I don't know. Go ahead.
I do that every week. I sit down. Seriously.
It's
music.
not in
Turn
Massachusetts.
it down.
What?
Oh,
What
never mind.
music?
We're listening to it in pre-fade.
Yeah.
Oh, we are?
I'm gonna trust the audio guy. Make sure it's good.
It's down.
It's loud as fudge in my ear. Anyway, so Dallas Cowboys.
See, I can't barely even
Looking
hear
for a
it.
shooter? No, your volume's down. And or
When
down.
I'll beat up the air, though.
But yeah, Jordan, I do that pretty much every week too. I go through and like, oh, this would be a fun job. This would be a fun job. This black. So it doesn't hurt to do this. Let's look at playbill.com. Scott, you brought this as a resource to us last week, and I'm digging on this for the theater side of things. Playbill.com jobs. This is the Alley Theater in Houston. They've recently completed a $46 million renovation down there. So they're hiring all sorts of full-time staff, everything from lighting to audio to production managers, all sorts of things.
They are looking for ME, AME. They had a big turnover this year, or at the end of the season.
Probably
They're-
because they had to shut down everything for this sort of renovation. Now
Yeah,
they're having to
it-
rehire everything. But
Well, and several people left. You know, there's new management there, so it's a great theater to work at. Lort C Theater. Actually, they may be a Lort D now.
I think they said B and C. That's what I saw on the listing.
I know they have multiple venues, so it's great little theater to go work at. They've got a Tony Award. Go do it.
There you go. Playbill.com jobs. Mandy.com also has a listing for the Atlas Talent Agency in Los Angeles. They're looking for a full-time commercial voiceover assistant. This is kind of a neat production assistant job for someone who's interested in breaking into the world of being a talent agent.
I don't know if I could do that, Bob.
You need to put your back into it when you speak.
Wow, that's bad. His was better.
Thank you.
Check that on
Yeah,
off.
whoop, I'm not doing that
I'll
one.
do
I saw on productionhub.com this week, Team People is headhunting for an experienced A1 or
Well.
Teen people?
A1, A2?
Jordan, there you go.
No, I'm not A1 or A2.
you could be in the Washington, D.C. area. It's a full-time position. Sounds like it's mainly
Oh.
auditorium work for a facility in the D.C. area.
Do you get to Mike Obama?
Audio guys? Maybe. If the president comes and speaks in this particular venue, you would be the guy to do that.
Or
It
might
said
be for
A1
the,
slash A2, so I don't know if that's you're doing both or if that's
Seahawks.
depending on.
These are the
Oh, this is
A2s
DC,
of
never
person that mics.
And to round out the job board this week, offstagejobs.com, another one from Scotty. Marvel Universe Live, based out of Florida, they're hiring a video projectionist for their touring show. That's a fun gig. I think some Mark Cuban was doing that up here in Dallas when they were kind of an interactive kids expo experience for comic book people. So this is kind of our geek culture themed show tonight.
Nerds.
Thank you.
Nerds.
And that's all I've got on the job board for you this week. But Harven, hopefully you found a few good alternatives to being a drapist. That was really
What was that last
hard cut. You want to be a video projectionist for Marvel
one? It was
Universe?
Keystone, right? Keystone.
Yeah, there you go. Just press auto. Done. So anyway, yeah, that's a segment we do every week on the show, just in case any of our viewers out there are looking for some more engaging employment. So the main topic for tonight. Hopefully this will lead to war stories galore.
Okay, what do you want to know?
The show must go on, brother.
Oh, God, no, it doesn't.
Have you ever just said, you know what, we're not doing it?
Cancel the bitch.
We've even had shows, we've even had Showtech shows, we just, despite it all, went on there anyway.
You and I, actually, yeah, he stayed home. You and I did
What?
Yeah.
one whole show.
Oh, yeah, because of the bad ice storm.
It's such a bad ice storm.
so icy in Texas.
Well,
No, safety first. Nobody has to die for the internet. That's stupid. So.
for free, too.
Did you say yes?
I'm dedicated to you, though.
Which we might.
I am a dedicated asshole.
That was very stalker. She just like looked over. I'm dedicated to you.
Dedicated to you, mother.
Oh,
Huh.
that cough drop worked. So give me
that
an
was me
example.
that was coughing.
This will be a round table. Everybody, give me an example of a show you did that was just you didn't think it was going to make it. Somehow you found a way.
Lysistrata.
Find a
Yeah.
way.
Lysistrata on tour. We had a 40-foot long penis.
Naturally.
Oh,
Oh, we didn't talk about the weather report.
And we were going down to Mexico City.
Do you want the?
Going down to Mexico City. You ever tried to cross the border with a 40-foot penis?
Is this a real story? Because I think I've heard this
This is a
before.
very real story.
All right.
We had
He doesn't
4
lie.
trucks.
Only here on the Showtech show.
We had 4 trucks. One truck alone was for the 40-foot penis.
Was it like a flatbed?
No, it
Oh,
was
it's too
all
bad.
of them
I think
were
it was
closed.
fine.
Do you guys
So it's a
know the
semi-truck?
story about Lysistrata?
I really
No.
have
It
no
was
idea.
written by
What the hell?
Aristophanes.
Where was this
Wait.
going?
Huh?
Huh?
It was written by Aristophanes.
Okay.
Long time ago, guys.
Mephistopheles?
It's one of
Plato.
the very first Greek comedies that was ever written, and it's about a
And it was full of penis jokes.
no, it's
Now I get
about a tribe of
Patron of the arts.
men and women
Penis
that
worship
keeps
people.
fighting with another tribe. So the women sat back and said, "No more sex
Hmm.
until you guys make up and everything's copacetic." So Act 2 takes place a year later, and all the guys Aristophanes wrote this. All the guys walk around with hard-ons.
Really?
Because
Okay.
they-
When
You
was
know,
this? Was
this
this
would
like
work
classic?
today, like,
this
if
this is
somebody were to pull
classic
that.
Greek theater, guys.
Huh.
You're all learning something here.
It's awesome.
Anyways, we kind of modernized it. So at the beginning of Act 2, all the people wrote in on a penis.
A 40-foot penis.
All right. So you can't
Fair enough.
blame history on that one. That was a
Mexicans do not like 40-foot penises, or at least
Huh.
their border patrol didn't like it.
yeah. I'm sure they saw that as a
Oh, it was
Trojan horse.
Freaking hilarious because they
Huh?
opened up the lighting truck first.
All right.
They
Looks
saw
good.
the
Lighting
lights, and they
instruments.
were
Everything
like,
looks in
"Oh,
order
we need
here.
to go
Yep.
through all this.
How much
I said-
shit could you smuggle back in a 40-foot penis?
I was,
Probably why.
so they were like, well,
Yeah, but you're not smoking that.
we need to look through all of
I
your-
am definitely not smoking that one. Sorry, go ahead.
All right.
No. I want to
No,
hear.
apparently you don't want to know.
We got a little
We
thing
should
going
move
on.
on.
Sorry. There's some banter. No. Oh,
God's
God.
still sensitive after the 40-foot penis. So you got it over the border. Finish the story.
He's done now.
Finish the story.
Next.
It doesn't work like that way. That's the first part of the show. No, I want you to finish now. Did you make it across the border?
Yes.
How?
Well, they're
You
production.
smuggled it, didn't you?
No, they opened up the door, saw a freaking penis head, and they were like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Just go. We know what this is for. Go.
How
They
far
hung
into
us there
Mexico
for
did
8
you have to
hours.
drive like that?
Huh?
How far into Mexico did you have to go?
All the way to Mexico City.
Wow.
It's like 10 hours, 12 hours from the border. That's awesome.
So many missed opportunities with that. I'm telling you. Open
But
flatbed
8
trailer.
hours, 8 hours over on being at the border. We literally didn't get done hanging the electrics until an hour before the show. So I didn't even
Wow.
have time to focus. I just basically did a rough focus on the first show.
And that's really what the segment's all about. Is that's a hilarious cause for the show being hampered by delays, but just crashing it all out and making it
The
go.
show must go on.
Yeah, it was yeah, anyone that's in theater knows that lighting is always the first thing in.
Last people
And
out.
if we didn't get done until an hour before the show, the set was still being rolled in. Like they
Yeah.
were putting the set together as we were starting the show.
Wow. Like they were building the set backstage,
Yeah.
4 scenes just
The,
before they
the
were
columns were literally
Oh.
being built and pushed out on the stage as the show was going along.
Was it just a
we-
one-night show?
No,
or
we
was
were there for a week.
Okay, so just the first show was kind of sketched.
So it
but
was
then-
just the first show. But that
Wow.
old adage of when you're dealing with 2,000 tickets sold,
that show must go on.
the show must go on.
Nobody's
And you
refunded.
have to figure out a way to do it. The other end of that spectrum is we were touring with Journey,
Mm.
and one of our trucks ended up not getting there. One of our trucks didn't show up. We ended up having in Maryland to rent all of our equipment, all of our lighting equipment 2 hours before the show.
Ugh. That sounds like fun.
Oh my gosh.
VR help. Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
I should have said that.
And there was nothing. I mean, there was nothing that you could do about it. It was like, okay, it's not the show that we set out to do.
It's a
not.
show, but I mean, at that point, your expertise is paid for just for the fact that you can produce anything in that kind of a window.
I was just a drum tech, so
Oh, all right.
I just looked at all the lighting guys and laughed. You idiots.
Nice.
Good luck with that. Let's see. So I had
That's on
a.
the Isle of Sicily.
We got our Chromecast going in the side monitor.
What's going on?
Very
wow.
pretty. So one of my fond memories was the South by Southwest show I was doing, and I believe every year it's a tradition that they call in a giant deluge to completely flood out the festivities down there.
Absolutely.
So we were
Oh my
running all sorts of video. We had our truck was out back that we were running everything from, and all the wiring was running into the venue, which through what basically became a small river. And
Seriously?
yeah, all the
I'll tell you a
power and
story.
everything was running through that, and it was
So it's like New Orleans when they.
yeah, it was bad. It was like a good foot and a half of running water, because it was just when it rains in Austin, apparently everything turns into a flash flood.
It does. Very much
So,
so.
Yeah, somehow that was one of those things that like nobody really wanted to go
I'll tell you a
touch,
story about
but you're able to shoot, and that kind of led me down to that and a couple of other incidents with our auction. I won't name the actual network, but it was an auction network.
Sold on the internet.
On the internet, yes, you might know it as the internet. But they would have a lot of these really ultralight broadcast locations, and house power being your main resource. Webcasting, internet broadcasting, live streaming is not a very heavy-duty production environment. So you're not bringing in $20,000 generators and running high-end electronics for these sort of things. It's very
We're not?
consumer electric. I know, if you can believe it. This is not the highest-end operation. It doesn't have to be, because it's a different mechanism. You're not hitting satellites, and you're just internet broadcasting. But this is one of those where the I think someone plugged in a popcorn machine or a coffee maker somewhere in the bit, and that was just too much for the circuit, and the entire house went out. And it was such a stupid failure. So from now on, everything that I do has redundant battery backups and power management. And
Jordan.
It should.
Yes.
You've been through a show like that, right?
Oh, yes, I have.
You were with
I have not to name
I'm
clients.
doing it right now.
Not to name
Not
clients.
to name clients, but there was a
But
lighting guy who...
me and Scott have worked on this show together, where we were promised this amount of power, and you show up to the show, you're promised this type of power and this type of lights. It's like, oh, you're going to get these smaller wattage source for lights. Then you
Like
show up,
575 watts.
575 watts,
What did he bring?
and then you get there and you get 750.
Did he tell us?
No.
Oh,
He didn't tell us, and that's okay, and that's something we face in there. We still have to light. We still have to do our jobs, but
Max of
It was-
familiarity.
It was the dimmest conference I've ever lit because I had to keep everything at about
Like
30%.
yeah.
because it was so funny because we got there, bring up all the lights for TV. 'Cause that looks so good. We bring up all the
the hell
lights
you
for
doing?
TV, and it's like zzz, pop, breaker shut off, including the projectors and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
God.
all in the circuit.
Yeah.
So
That's
we lose projector power, stuff like that. We're basically grabbing extension cords, running a projector to house power, not the
Dedicated circuit.
dedicated circuit that we bought. We're any type of plug that you can find. We're running power
Had to
to
unplug
that.
the coffee machine.
Exactly.
Popcorn. There was no popcorn.
Well, we didn't want to pay for 3-phase power.
Cheaper that way.
Or a genset.
And of course,
Nope. Show's over.
Jordan's
Genset.
sitting behind me screaming at him.
You should have gotten a generator.
Should have
gotten the genset.
I get like.
Let me guess. I know who this is.
Your own fault.
Yeah.
Now you know. I mean,
I
yeah.
yell a
The
lot.
more you do these
Can I buy one of
little
those?
wiener shows out in the sticks,
But-
the more you believe and
You
bring
don't
your
buy
own
nothing
power
from
for everything.
me.
You just
Everything's
can't
a
trust
gift, my
house, man.
friend. Here.
But
sir.
I seriously, when I
Oh, it's twist off.
what's going on here? For me, it's like I want to do when I'm at a show,
Thanks,
when I'm
Scott.
anywhere, I want to to be good. I want me personally to be the best it can be. You know, and I think, you know, we all feel like that. When we're there at a show, we want everything to be the best it can be no matter what. Then when we have these failures, it seems like I feel like the clients are looking at us and everything.
Yes.
It's like, it's not our fault. It's
That's what sucks.
I feel like we were set up for failure.
yeah.
And that was.
But they look at us though. You
Yeah.
know? And you're like,
you want everything to be your best, so the client looks at that and goes, "Man, that was awesome. What was your name again?" You're
But
coming
what's
back
his name got those screens up in like 8 hours?
Wow.
It's amazing. Projectionists. Who's
They were
hiring for projectionists?
9x12 fast fold.
Check out the Marvel Universe Live.
Awesome. That's
Then
great.
he turns and looks at me and goes, "With what he's paying me, that he's like he's getting that."
Was it me?
I think his
Wow.
name began with a mark.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Mr. Wagner. Air Wagner out there somewhere. Awesome.
So what about you, man? Tell us.
Well-
Give us some drapist perspective. What's the? Or you don't have to. It can be anything.
All right.
You've worked a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Show
because
must
you've
go
done this
on.
long enough. You've had 60, 80, 120 feet of pipe and drape fall down on you.
I've had plenty of shit go down. But this is actually has something to do with South by Southwest, as Richard was talking about earlier, and
Cursed
deluges and whatnot. And this is actually kind of an entertaining day of show. And I'm not going to name the company, but the company is horrible. They're out of California. There was this job at the post office, right?
Mm.
For South by?
South by Southwest. This is
It's
old.
a pretty hip venue.
No, this is shut. Anything becomes a venue in
Yes.
Austin and South by Southwest. Any like burnt out building, they will figure out how to turn it into a freaking venue, right? Well, we're setting everything up. And the client's changing stuff. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry. Please don't kill me. Can we change this to this line of drape going here this way and this color going this way and this and that, blah, blah, blah. People are coming in, you know, as we're still changing stuff around, and somebody with a forklift comes across and hits one of the piping, one of the water pipes that is above with some temp, and it happens to be connected to the fire suppression system. So people are coming in. I'm still setting up drape. Fire alarms are going off around me.
No, it's the strobes and atmospherics, man. It's part of the party. Come on in.
It's loud as crap, and they're like, "Just turn up the music. Just turn up the music, boy. They can just drown it out. Just drown it out." And we're just like, "All right, this is giving me a headache. Trying to figure this out. And then they're still going, "You know what? I don't like the looks of that. Can we change that, please?" It's like, dude, you got people walking in right now, and you want to freaking change this. Who needs to sign off on this right now?
Yeah.
One of those too many chiefs, not enough Indians type things.
Ah, yes.
Were any of you on the Hay House tour with me?
No.
I don't think any. Of you
I wasn't. No.
We were in
Anyways,
Toronto
Hmm.
in February.
Okay.
Now, Toronto in February is the middle of the winter. You know, it's nasty. It's cold. We were in their large main room at the Toronto Convention Center. So we had 120 foot of black, 26-ounce velour, 16 feet tall on each side of the stage, going all the way to the walls with screens in the middle. Somebody decided to open the roll top.
Oh God!
It's 60-mile-an-hour winds came down through the tunnel.
God, what are you
And-
doing?
All of us, 5 minutes before the people walked in, watched all the black drape go.
Domino effect.
All the way down.
Thank, please.
And it was the security guard who was
Okay.
checking to see if
It worked.
everything was copacetic.
And he's just kind of like, oh.
Sorry, I'm not trying to dog security guards, but come on, man, that's not your place. Dude.
5 minutes before
Come
we
through
opened.
the actual door and freaking.
How long
figure
does
out
it take
shit.
you to hang 240 foot of drape?
Me? Hour and a half, 2 hours, tops.
5 minutes before they open.
You're basically hanging drape for the entire
No,
show.
2.5 hours tops. No, I've had to
We-
reset drape quicker than that, but
We literally only hung 30 foot of
Yeah.
drape around the
oh no,
the projectors and said that's all we'll do for this.
oh, yeah.
Um,
No, we've had drape come down in the middle of shows and whatnot, but like, no, that particular show was awesome because the one that I was talking about, because yeah, that guy hit that pipe and guess what? He broke that pipe.
Oh.
It's
Oh, sure.
spewing water everywhere. And guess what? It's getting closer and closer to my drape, and I'm having to go. I don't know if I want to set drape here now because this is basically going to ruin shit.
Yeah, right.
You know, I
You
mean,
guys bought this.
yeah, you basically own this drape now if you want me to keep going. But no, that I've had that happen multiple times. We had some, I don't know, mysteriously, miraculously, a crossbar pop out of a upright or two uprights, I don't know, 22 feet up in the air, come down on somebody sitting at a table, right? And the people just ran over there, grabbed it, pulled it off the side, called that lady an ambulance, and the show went on.
just roll with it. Jordan, how about you, man? Anybody get taken out by a jib in your line of work?
Have
No,
you taken out anybody in the gym?
Well, personally, I haven't taken anybody with a jib.
He's so pro.
You know, well, it's safety. Yeah, it's safety in my
Such
place.
a pro.
But
pretty
I've
good.
heard stories though. I have heard
not bad.
stories of a jib guy.
I'm not
You know,
into
there's
investments, so.
several stories about there. There's several stories of jib
It's like
guys.
the only thing that by them I like.
What?
Oh, sorry.
What's going
No.
on?
What the hell, guys?
I'm sorry.
Golly, I'm having a little private
I'm listening,
conversation.
man. Keep going.
So, like, you know,
But you
we
weren't
heard the-
listening to me earlier.
We heard the
so
story,
we
Austin, the
share
South by
that.
Southwest incident where the jib toppled over,
Oh,
hit
God.
somebody and stuff like that. There's another story of a jib that was on a stage. They were trying to move it, and it fell off the stage and landed in somebody. Stuck a pin in somebody's leg as they were writing notes and stuff like that.
Ow.
Luckily, I haven't had any incidences. I try to, you know, be cautious, and I know my limits, and I will gladly tell a client no if it's going to be a safety issue.
Okay, is anyone here afraid to do that?
What?
So I'm all about telling the client.
Oh,
no.
man, I'll straight up tell a client that's not safe.
Yeah.
Sorry, done.
You know, if
I
it's a
refuse.
safety issue, I'm
Safety
I'm
comes
not,
before anything.
I don't want to be. I
Yeah.
don't want to be liable.
Well, it's like we were talking about the state fair thing. I mean, if there had been more people on that show that had said no and made it stick, they probably wouldn't have had people get killed.
22 years. 22 years I've been doing shows and nobody's been hurt on one of my shows.
Well, keep cross talking with
Now-
talent. See what happens.
I won't. I won't explain the fact that I've been doing shows for 30 years.
22 years without incident.
22 years.
You
where
still
nobody's
got
been hurt.
the days since sign at the
the
entrance.
first-
But let me
you know,
tell you, 23 years
first-
ago, an accident happened, and it caused me to be this way. And that's
Hey.
why I'm so strict.
Did he die?
No.
Is it?
Okay, well then good.
But he had a square D symbol in the middle of his chest burned into.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
This is back before LEDs, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Don't get that with
They crossed.
They actually use real fixtures and light bulbs and really hot.
They were loading in the 3-phase, and the feeder had split and was was hitting the door to the box, and he went and powered it up, and that door just shot into his chest.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
I mean, that could.
You know,
You see enough accidents in this thing.
you start getting to the point of, yeah, the show has to go on as long as you're going to be safe. You know, as long as the people that are there are going to be safe. You don't want to kill anyone in this. And the stuff that we do, it'll kill people.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to die
liability. It comes back to us.
for your production.
I want to say the worst injury I ever saw on a show was setting up in New York for like a little party conference kind of thing, and it was just it was like a powered speaker someone had up on a tripod, and just some temp labor coming in helping the strike guy didn't realize what he was doing, released the lock and blam, knocked himself out cold. They had him come out for ambulances. I never knew him. I was temporary labor myself, so I didn't know what happened with that, but everybody looking at it was like, "Ugh, that looked pretty bad." Like he was cold out. I mean, that was rough.
There's, you know, the show has to go on, or the client's not going to make its money. If the client's not making its money, it's you're not going to make your money, unless you've got ironclad contracts like me.
But that's the
50%
thing,
deposit prior to.
short of putting life and limb in harm, the show goes on. I think that's a good important distinction to make in this little topic that I didn't really plan on. But yeah, if there's a safety issue, then it's everybody's responsibility to say something. I mean, you want to be a problem solver as much as possible instead of a problem maker. But at the same time, everybody on a show set needs to be empowered from the first day production grip to the security guard. Everybody needs to be able to say, hey, that's not right.
Yeah.
Someone's going to get hurt.
And that's, I mean, you guys have worked on enough shows with me to know that I'm out there to have a good time. I want my crew to have a good time. I want my crew to make some money. But
You having a good time, Bert?
when it comes down to doing something where somebody could get hurt,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this isn't.
I would I
little boy
would
games.
trust you in that. I've seen you try to get fired off of shows. That's why I was laughing. Just fire me off the show. No.
I will sit here and do nothing.
We bring them
Now,
back.
see, I don't know if this was a show killer, but like one time Richard and I were on the show. We were in Seattle, Washington. And truss is down, and like my boss comes over and hands me this camera with this like chintzy, like $20 if that tripod, and says, "Hey,
I think it's the
I
camera we're
need you
using
to
right now.
mount this to this." It might have been that camera too. But no, the guy goes, "Hey, I need you to mount this to this truss. So when say raise it, we have a shot that's going down." It's like, okay, great. Do you have anything to mount it with? Here's some gaff tape. Here's some safety chains.
No.
I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm whatever. I was green at this time, so I started doing it.
You didn't realize how
In-house.
stupid that was.
In-house AV walks up to me and goes, "Hey, man, what are you doing there? Can't let you do that, dude. We have mounts for that if you really want, but you'll have to pay for it." And I looked at my boss, and he goes, "I ain't paying for shit." And I looked at
Yeah, wait a
Richard,
minute.
and Richard was just like, "Pull that shit up. Don't listen to him."
I'm not using that. Take that down.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a show killer. I imagine it wouldn't have been a show killer, but
But
it was definitely one of those
that
freaking
shot
things.
would not have made or break the show,
Yeah.
but that shot falling 50 feet and killing the announcer, that probably would have been a problem.
Probably.
So yeah, not that safety
But,
chains aren't fantastic.
Hey, man, I had like
But
3
how
rolls
much
of gaff
did-
tape, so
how
I could have
much
made it
did-
work.
How much did that producer sit there and go, "Oh, no. This is money shot. We promised the client this."
I don't know what his thinking was. I think he honestly
You
at
know
the
who we're
time
talking about.
had an extra camera, and he's like, "Oh, I got to use this so I can charge the client for it." But if they had to pay for the mount to mount the camera, then he wouldn't make any profit on it, so it'd be a wash.
Okay, what was the amount? $30?
Probably as a
I
rental.
don't
I
know.
mean, it was L.A. So
Yeah.
I think that was L.A.,
It was
wasn't it?
probably
Seattle.
$30.
Seattle.
Okay.
But eventually,
the mount itself
eventually
is
the
only
people walked up
$12, so they
and
probably
said-
charge you $30.
or the in-house AV company really was like, "Look, we really can't let you do that. I don't know what you're doing, still messing with that, but really cannot let you do
You
that."
realize this isn't going in the air if that is.
Do it right
That
the
abortion's
first
hanging
time,
off the
or
side.
put Rusty
Jay.
in charge.
Come on back.
Nah,
Come on back! Come on back!
Bam.
Hey, that's
You're
good.
Good times, good times.
You want some
Look around.
fans?
Oh my God!
All right. Well, that's some good war stories, and I think there's probably some more coming up after the show's over tonight.
imagine
But
so. We'll be at the Londoner in what? South Lake?
Colleyville,
Colleyville.
Colleyville.
Whatever.
Colleyville,
What do you
Texas.
call it? Come on out. It'll be fun.
Hey,
come out and meet the crew.
So the weather is getting pretty bad. I have a weather map if y'all want to.
yeah,
Hey,
let's
you
take
know
a
what
look at
that
that weather
means?
map.
You know what that means?
I would
The
love
cops.
to see the weather map.
Oh,
Oh, can't really see it.
hold on. Let me get out of the way.
Hold
There
on,
it
I
is.
think there we go.
Oh,
That's
What was coming at
That's
us hard
earlier
and fast
today.
earlier in the day.
Yeah, that's mid-afternoon.
I think we're screwed.
Where are we
Yeah.
now?
My wife found this on Facebook. One of the
Expect-
local meteorologists posted this, and then the
Expect
Facebook
showers.
comments would not stop. I was going to say would not stop coming, but that's not appropriate. The Facebook comments would
I
not
seriously just spit all over my
Looks
laptop.
like
wildly in it. But yeah, we've had some dangerous weather here.
Your
in North
wife was
Texas
talking
lately.
to you about stuff not coming?
with 4 or 5 kids.
How many kids do you have?
Oh, you got me blushing like a schoolgirl. So, from a very dangerous show set, I wanted to, before we go off the air tonight, let's talk about some future topics because we've got nothing else to talk about in the queue. What do you guys want to talk about? Oh, now you guys all have to drink. Harven, what would you like to see us cover on the Showtech show as an avid viewer who tunes in week after week tirelessly to see us live as we go on?
Feelings.
Let's talk about our feelings on an upcoming show. What do you guys think, Scott? I feel like I'm always taking over the show topics, and 9 times out of 10 they're horrible.
Well, you are the director/producer, so you kind of make up this shit.
Kind of your show.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, it's my show until I
I'm
want
just
to do something.
the hired sidekick.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, next week we're going to reverse it.
What are you?
I'm going to get to
Board
be the hired sidekick, and Scott's going to be the host.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to.
I would like to actually understand more if you guys explained 3D imaging.
3D imaging?
See, that wouldn't be me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
3D imaging for you guys.
like 3D
And
imaging, or
I don't know what year the stages in theaters started slanting or stopped slanting.
Oh, like draking? Oh.
No, okay, back in the day. Okay, like if you don't know, back in the day, why they call it upstage and downstage, because stages were actually slanted at one point in time.
And what do we call that? The rake.
The rake. See, now that's the messed up part. Sorry,
internet
is that I don't.
doesn't matter.
I've worked on stages. I've done this and that all over stages. I don't know what the hell upstage, downstage, left stage.
You don't really
Right
on
stage
stage,
is.
off
I don't
stage,
fucking
stage right,
know.
stage left,
I don't know.
upstage, downstage.
But we can teach you in a very quick segment we like to call.
End of the show. And outside.
That's true. Smoke break coming up next. So yeah, we could do some theater terms and technology, some
think we'll-
entry level stuff for people
You know,
who might be.
Hey, Jack,
I've always
been
wanted to do
around- I
a
forget. That's the
segment
problem.
on mentoring.
There we go.
Okay. I know.
So
All
we'll
right.
deal with mentoring next
Mentoring's
week.
good. All right. So tune in for an episode on mentoring.
And really, I think we need to have one whole show on jibs.
A jib show?
A jib show.
Yeah, honestly, Jordan, you don't get enough camera time, and I think you could talk jibs like
Counterweight,
I could
cabling,
probably, I could teach some stuff. I
The
could
ins
tell
and
some
outs.
stuff and everything.
lane control,
Jimmy
Jimmy
Jib,
Jibs, Johnny Jibs,
Little tech review.
lane control.
everything.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Well, guys, thanks again for watching us for another Show Tech Show. This is an episode 111 for the first season here on the Lone Star Webcast Network. Join us again next Sunday at 8 for another one. We'll be talking about mentoring and more fun stuff to come. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.